What's good, Gen X, YouTube? Recently, Statuettes One posted a video with the title "Preventing Simps, Manginas, and Miscreants." So, in the video, she addresses her position and dealing with at-risk youth with her nonprofit organization. And there's an exchange in the comment section between her and another individual of Generation X that shall remain anonymous for a second. And if you look in the right hand corner box of this video, you'll see that they had a bit of an exchange. And it's an exchange that, in my opinion, is starting to come out now. Recently, I posted a video of, or a couple of videos of the State of the Black Boston Symposium. And her concerns are similar to what their concerns were for the Urban League as well. There's a lack of black men participating in the symposiums, community development, and also mentorship. And if you look in the right hand corner as well of this video, the text box, the info box, the Washington Post or there was a Washington Post article posted that addresses the same issue. Why are so many black men um, not available to mentoring and being involved in the community in terms of giving back and so forth. And I just want to play devil's advocate for a second because I participated in mentorship myself. I'll say this: the reaction that you see from the individual exchanging comments with Statuettes One is something that a lot of black men feel who have themselves together. Not just any black men, but the black men who have themselves together feel this way. Um, and it's starting to come out verbally, vocally, and it's something that really needed to be discussed. And in my experience of mentorship, I can say that you know something that happened last year where I was mentoring one black male at-risk youth, and I dropped him off. Now his mother is not all that old. She's only about 35, 36 now. And at the time, she had a which what would be considered a boyfriend. Um, he was in the house, and me working with the computers and whatnot. I'm trying to show her son the computers and how this works and whatnot. But seeing her bedroom door open up, um, it's this. I don't want to call him a thug, but it's this. This street dude or street guy, whatever you want to call him, coming out of the room, pulling up his pants. He's tatted up. He got the wifey beat on. He got the do-rag, the fitted hat. Your typical black male. And I think that obviously he was doing something in there with her. But I think what you're starting to see from a lot of black men that that are not participating is that they feel um, that it's not just about the responsibility, but it's the lack of respect for the mentor himself. Because the type of men that would mentor your child or mentor their sons to being a more groomed individual, you don't find those men attractive. And not only do you not find those men attractive, the way your son would be groomed as a man or cultivated, you wouldn't even date your own son. So there's something going on between black men and black women, perception wise, relationship wise, how we deal with each other, and there's this, I guess, adversarial outlook on how we relate to each other. Like what is it to be a black man? And when you have a street guy coming out of your mom's room and your mom's jumping off, But yet you have a mentor who's clean cut, probably works for Johnson & Johnson, IBM, Raytheon, whoever it is. He's a clean cut individual. He plays by the rules. Now what you have is a lot of black women who may not get with that type of guy, but will get with the street guy and procreate with him, and expect that the mentor should be obligated to mentoring her child. And if he doesn't do that, then somehow, you know, he's a part of the problem too. And I think that's where we start to have this conflict of interest, because you can't place that type of responsibility on somebody that was never there in the first place. The guy that you want to, the brother that you want to mentor, is not the guy that's responsible for the cultivating of your son. It's not fair to put that responsibility on him. I'm not saying Statue West One did this, but I'm saying the article that's in the info box, her comment back to the individual on Generation X, and the commentary from a few weeks ago, back in July, at the State of the Black symposium, is the same sentiment. There's this idea that black men are obligated to doing this, even when it's not their child. And a lot of the times, and this is just me growing up, my understanding was your father is supposed to be your best mentor. It's supposed to be your mentor. Well, if there's no father involved, then who are these women getting with? Now, some people will say, well, that doesn't matter. Well, yeah, it does matter, because what you have is a constant stream of at-risk youth, or males, black males, coming out, and there's not enough mentors. Why are there so many at-risk youth? Where are the fathers? They're not involved, right? If they're not involved, then who are these men? Men who are supposed to be mentors, right, are usually involved. Your father was involved, your grandfather was involved, etc., etc., etc. But, a lot of times these men are just not there. And I hate to say this, a lot of those at-risk youth come from jump-off mothers. Jump-off relationships produce jump-off children, for the lack of a better description. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm not saying that all black children are like this. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, when people want to talk about mentoring black children, especially black male youth, this is somehow ignored. This is like, let's just brush this to the side and let's just get to work. And I'm like, there's not enough men. We haven't produced enough black men that are successful enough to warrant their input of time or their involvement. You got 50 kids who are 50 black males who are programmed at risk, but there's only 8 to 12 mentors. That's not enough. There's something else that's going on that needs to be addressed. Now, going back to my situation last year, the mom doesn't care, or the mothers don't care. The mothers don't care about their sons. When you decide that as an adult or as a woman, I'm gonna reproduce with and I don't want to say that every black woman gets with a thug. It's not the thug, it's the unethical black men that these women are choosing, and then expect the ethical black men to get involved after the fact. They don't understand that is a disrespect to us. Okay? And the disrespect is not, it can't be tolerated. There's no reconciliation with that. So what you hear is a lot of black men, such as the individual having an exchange with Statuist One, say F it. I don't want anything to do with that. And it's messed up to hear things like that, but that's the reality. And I think more black women need to understand where black men are coming from, that they have legitimate concerns about, dealing with at-risk youth. Now, to finish up what I was saying before about the situation from last year, it's hard for her son to be cultivated when you're not there 24/7. It's hard. It's just not. It's not that easy because what he sees is mom in the room jumping off, with Leroy from the block, Jay Sean from the block. So he doesn't have that. He needs a senior man to correct his issues right there on the spot. I mean, that's like being at work and having no supervision. Who's going to correct your issues? You may be able to call your regional manager somewhere in Atlanta or something for the East Coast, but I mean, if nobody's there on the spot to correct your issues, then you're gonna have some issues down the line. You're not gonna be fully developed. And I don't want to say it's a patriarch or a matriarch because that's not really about it. But a lot of black women do not like the idea of you telling them how their son should be raised or what should be going on, because they feel like you're invading their privacy sometimes. And for me, if I go in there like I did last year and I say, well, he needs this, this, and that, she says, well, I can't afford that. Well, that's funny because you can go out there and buy him a pair of Air Jordans, for $150, but you won't spend, $20 or $30 on a toolkit or something. It's messed. There's a lot of issues and legitimate concerns that black men who can be mentors have with the whole mentorship thing. Me personally, I don't feel that black men should turn their backs, but I understand what they're saying. I completely understand what they're saying, and at the end of the day, we can't solve all the issues, and we can probably solve many of the issues if we just listen to what black men are saying. It's just not. It's not that we don't care, or some black men just don't care. It's just there's a lack of respect for the mentors. The same men that you don't find attractive, the same men that you want to come in and save the day. I don't know if that's a good look. It can't work that way. Um, and again, there's a conflict of interest between who the mother chooses to go to sleep with at night, and versus who's going to come in for 3 or 4 hours a week and deal with your cultivate your son. He's seeing two different types of men, which causes another conflict of interest because he doesn't understand whether this dude who's hustling on the block, is he more of an inspiration, or is it the brother that whose suit and tie goes to work and went to college and everything else? I mean, what is he supposed to follow? Which one is he supposed to follow? So just throwing black men into the whole mentorship campaign, it only band-aids the issue. We have to hit the root of the problem by addressing the thing publicly, like what you're starting to see from the individual in Generation X who, took it to another level and said, they're poor bastards. I don't have any love for them. Well, I don't get it. I thought we were supposed to be fixing the community. I thought that as black men we were supposed to step up and do this, but it's hard for you to step up when people don't respect you. But that's just my take on it. I don't want to take up any more time. I'll just get back to it when I can because I just want to gather more of my thoughts together. All right, peace.